نوت وأربعين توزلا تخلوا رياضا تسلك حسبنا الله ولا قوة إلا بالله تاركة الصلاة في الخير من جميع إن شاء الله. Say, you have a question. Say louder, so everyone can hear.
In the Holy Quran, Allah SWT is mentioning that He makes human being go through stages. That it goes from baby to child, adult, old age, and then he dies. And that this is a sign for people who reflect. And I'm asking, what are we supposed to take from that? That Allah SWT didn't create us. He didn't send us just as an adult in one stage, and then we die. That we have to go through these different stages in our life.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. This is the main point for us to understand when we enter into the knowledge of Hazrat Insan and the knowledge of Hazrat Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when He creates us as a spirit, did He create us as a spirit that is low spirit and becomes higher spirit and becomes higher and higher and higher spirit? No, He creates us just like that, let us say, in our spirit, our light. And where is the position and the honor and the station of that light that He has created us just like that? It is what? What is that station? Ahsani Takwim, the most perfect station. This is the station of our spirit. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when He sent us into this world, He could have imitated the physicality of us, our physical body, to imitate the spirit, the way that the spirit is created in Ahsani Takwim, to create us also, not as, you are a baby, you become this, you become old and you become feeble, you become weaker and then you pass. You come from weakness to strength back to weakness. He created us like that. He could have just created us in imitation, perfect and strong, and then we die, or to have created us weak and then to become perfect and strong and then die. Like, butterfly. Butterfly, they don't become old and they don't become ugly and weak and then they die. They become the most beautiful and then they die. Some people say, why are we not created like that? Why I have to go through old age? Let me die when I'm the most beautiful. Not understanding nothing. Or Allah could have sent us old, really old, very weak, coming out like Nine, coming out like this. And then as the years pass, they get younger and younger and younger. More passing, they get younger and younger. More passing, they become baby and then they die. Allah could have created us to be like that too. But He didn't. And this is the lazim. This is the nature of most things that He has created. This is the protocol that is there. This is the protocol of what? Of our physical being. That for mankind, which is why I believe it was Imam Rabbani who said to the sultans, the sheikhs, they were giving sohbats to the sultans, and they were using very harsh words to make them to understand. The sultans in Islam, they have the sheikhs above them. They were going to the feet of the awliya Allah because they understand, I'm sultan of these lands, they are sultans of the earth and the heavens. They are higher sultans. And following the tradition of the Prophet and Hazrat Umar, that Hazrat Umar used to hire someone, that whenever he comes out in public, Hazrat Umar is giving him money, saying, Ya Khalifa, don't forget, you are going to die. And one day, he called this person that he's paying. He says, I'm giving you your pay. I'm giving you 1 extra year on top of that and a bonus. This time, you don't have to say that anymore. And he's surprised and he sings, as you like, Ya Khalifa. I would like to know the reason. He says, because today I see a white hair on my beard. And this white hair in my beard is reminding me of death. For the people of religion, for the people of spirituality, the death, it is a good news because it is the way to enter into the eternal presence, into the heavenly presence. You are leaving this lowest of the low. You're leaving this dunya already. You cannot wait to enter into that. As the Ottoman sultans, when they are appearing in public, they have people to walk backwards and to warn them also, saying, Ya Khalifa, you think you are great, Allah is greater. You understand? Because people are praising the Khalifa, praising the Sultan, saying you're great. Sultan says Allah is greater. So always, once you put yourself down, Allah will bring you up. But this is the remembrance of death. So now, Allah is showing us in the physical form anything relating to this dunya. You are coming from nothing, and you will enter into nothing. This much is true. But it doesn't mean that before that there was nothing. And it doesn't mean that after that there is nothing. This is the whole point, especially to the Jahiliyyah Arabs, that they're saying before this there was nothing, and after this there's not going to be anything. We don't believe that we're going to rise from the dead. As today's people, majority are believing. They don't believe there is an afterlife. You say, who knows? Who has been there? We're saying 1,024,000, 124,000 prophets have been there. They've entered into that world and they've come out. Countless awliya, they entered into that world and come out. Don't you see, when you sleep, you are dead and you come out from that. So people of understanding now, as the Turks they are saying, once you see a minaret, from a far distance, you see a minaret, you know that there is a town there. You don't have to see everything. There's a sign there that there's a whole town. There are people there. So in the past, people become very intelligent because with a small sign, they uncover a whole knowledge. Today's people, they swallow all the knowledges, but they get nothing. They don't believe in anything, and they don't practice their belief. Showing now, the Imam Rabbani saying, don't forget, Ya Sultan. You are coming from dirtiness. You are passing into this world from dirtiness. We are weak. We are dirty. This is our physical form. Because mankind, they believe more in their physical form than in their spirit. And although there was a physical existence also before that, they don't believe it and they don't reflect. Because once you start reflecting, where is your physical existence before that, you understand now the mercy and the miracle of our own existence here in this world. That even physically, we didn't just come. We've always been here for a very long time. The signs are there, of course. We were there. We were from our forefathers. We were from Adam alayhi salam. We were there with Adam alayhi salam. You understand? We've already been there. We were here. Now they just discover. They discover about the woman. They say the egg in the woman, the eggs are in there when you were your mother, you were present in your mother when your mother was a baby in your grandmother's womb. So 3 generations is already there. This is just discover. They're going to discover more. They're going to find out more. They're concentrating on women now. You haven't even entered into what the secret of what the males they are carrying. So Allah, what is He trying to teach us now with that coming down? Mankind. This physical body that I'm giving to you, this is not real. This is a sign of the greatness of your spirit. This physical body that I've given you, and this physical world that I've given you, do not make it into something real. Don't start to serve it and don't start to worship it. Because you're worshiping yourself, you're worshiping this body, you're worshiping everything that is here physically. It has a beginning. It came from nothing and it will end in nothing. But that is just the clothes that you are wearing. You have a presence that is in you that has existed from pre-eternity and is going to exist post-eternity. What was our body? What will our body be? You think Allah is also showing that you are taking so much care, men's and women's. It used to be only women's taking so much care for their body. Huh? Pulling here, pulling here, pulling here, putting on paint like they drop into a paint can. Trying to look alive. Used to be. Now men's becoming even worse. Sit down somewhere, sit. Now men's are even worse now. People now 24 hours, you're seeing, they are worshipping the body. The body is carrying these five senses. And everywhere you see, it is this push to worship these five senses. You become more locked now. The more you're putting these five senses up, the more you're pushing your spirit down. Now you're locked. Your five senses is locking your spirit. But the prophets and the awliya are teaching you the opposite. It says, lock your five senses and your spirit is going to be free. Once your spirit becomes free, that time your spirit is going to be free and is going to defy the laws of the senses. It can defy, it can go through the law of time, the law of space, the law of physics, anything that is there. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created this shariat. It says now when you become free, when you put this shariat inside of you, now you're going to be free and you're going to use that now, the shariat, just as a tool for you to get to something that is much more real, much more bigger, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying you have to discover, because that is part of knowing me. Because you are not going to find me so much on just the physical that is here. These are only signs, but there are bigger signs even in the physical. This body that we're going to have, this body that we have, is this the only body that we have? No. When we die, we're going to be given another body in the grave. After that, when everything is finished, we're going to be given another body to enter into Judgment Day. When we finish with the Judgment Day, may Allah make us to have a good outcome. With the mercy of the Prophet ﷺ and the mercy of our Shaykh, inshallah. After that, those who are going to enter into paradise, you will have to have a new body too. Because this body, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is showing now, this body that I've created, that you're worshipping, that you love so much, that you put so much energy, your whole life is to sustain this body is very weak. This is not your real you, because this body cannot survive too much. Don't you see? When it's hot, everyone is taking their clothes out. When it's cold, they put so much on. You don't even see a cat doing that, or a chicken that is doing that. Meaning Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created them much more strong than we are. It's as if we don't fit into this world. This body now is going to fail, is going to become weak, is going to finish. You are not going to worship this body because this body is going to finish. Then what is going to happen? When you enter into that other world now, you have to have a new body, because this body, it cannot even exist by itself in different seasons. It cannot even exist underground. It cannot exist beyond a certain point in the oceans. It cannot exist beyond a certain point in the skies. Allah showing you worshipping yourself, how weak you are. How you can worship that which is weak. And now this body is going to finish. Judgment Day is going to come, and we'll be given new bodies. That body now, we need a new body to exist in that judgment place, because that judgment place, it is completely different from this world. That time, everything is going to be destroyed, and everything is going to be completely different. Everything is going to be destroyed. Every space is going to be destroyed. Time is going to be destroyed. When you enter into that new place, then you need a new body to exist. When you enter into Judgment Day, you need something. When you enter into Jannat, now you cannot bring the same body, especially for those who are entering into Jannat from Jahannam. Which is why one thing that we have to do is to do what? Before you enter into Jannat. Huh? 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 Drink? You're supposed to take a ghusl. It's also one of the meanings of why we're taking a ghusl every Friday. Judgment Day is going to happen on a Friday. You'll be given. Those who don't take ghusls on the Friday, you're not going to find yourself good health coming to you. Let's get rid of so much diseases now. So, you enter. Before entering into paradise, in the Kawthar, yes, not only the drink, but you clean yourself. You enter and you come out with a new body. Because without that body, you cannot enter. That heavenly radiation is not going to allow you to enter. It will finish you. But the spirit, something else than that time. Everything must point to the greatness of Allah. And everything must point to how weak we are in the things that we are concentrating on that is away from Allah. But if we are concentrating on what Allah has given to us, that He says, concentrate on this, then you will discover the greatness of Allah, because He can make us into His Khalifa to represent Him. Ya Allah, give us more intelligence and more wisdom and more sincerity, inshallah. Not to concentrate on this world, but to concentrate on the real world that is approaching us, and make us to be from the real ones. Wa min Allahu tawfiq al-Fatiha.